Hey guys, and welcome to Armchair Conversations with Rob. Today, I want to talk about a current event because a lot of times, and I'll discuss it in another video. I like to be in touch but out of reach. I don't like to be inundated. I just like to be aware of what's going on in the world. Today, I want to talk about the shooting that happened in Dallas. I'm not going to cover it in any great detail because people have their own opinions and I have mine too. But there were a couple of things that I noticed that I liked, and a couple of things that I noticed that are sad. Because in my neck of the woods, we've also had some necessity for police presence, let's say, on several counts. And one of the things that I noticed about the shooting of the boy in Michigan was that the lady had some anger, which is natural. She did something good, which was finding a way to get it out there to affect social change. And I really was um, glad to see that the violence, as far as retaliation and hatred, didn't overtake her soul. I was really glad to hear the part where she looked at the mayor, which I also commend for bothering to come down instead of just releasing a statement and actually be there with the victim and the family, and apologize for the issue, which is a deeper one for all of us, especially those of us of color, as well as those of us who serve on the police forces and try to maintain order and protect and serve. Um, I was very grateful when I looked and heard her say, I don't want you to be sorry. I want you to fix it. I want you to make it better. And that is a beautiful sentiment that everybody really, truly, I think, wants in their soul, except for maybe the criminals. Um, but it has to start with change. I don't condone what happened in Dallas, absolutely not. Those are lost human lives just like anything else. I also definitely was glad to see that she had some compassion for the people who have been killed and had families and people that they left behind. Just as she is mourning, she understands that they mourn too. And so I thought that was a good step in the right direction, because a lot of times the media will portray the anger, the hate, the negativity, but they don't always portray as equally or as powerfully the call for social change. And let's just say we all have issues that we fight and deal with. Um, and I'm not going to say anybody's plight is worse than another's, but I am going to say social change is something that I think deep down inside a lot of us really want. And I hope that this will spark a dialogue that will change some things, because both sides have some issues that they need to fix and resolve. You know, there's the general malaise and mistrust of the public against the police force, and there's a tendency to overreact to the regular everyday person because of their need for their own safety and their own ability to police and serve and keep order. And so I just hope that this tragedy, these tragedies, will spur some kind of dialogue on social change, and how we interact as far as our relationships with each other. The everyday people are the ones who you see the most often. It's not necessarily the uber criminal or the kingpin or the king of the drug dealers, quote unquote, or whatever, or the gangbanger. It's usually the everyday people who feel the brunt of the frustration and the mistrust and the overreaction of the police officer who is there to do a job and is just as human as you or I. He doesn't come off an assembly line. I heard a detective in our area say, they have feelings and families. They put on their pants just like we do. They cut their grass just like we do. They get pissed off just like we do and annoyed just like we do. Okay? And when you assume that they have to be above reproach in terms of you can say and do whatever you want to piss them off, upset them as a human being, and then expect him to simply respond as this automaton type emotionless cop and follow only the rules, then you're just as wrong as the person who is a cop and abuses their power, overreacts, is overzealous. So I just want to say that, this tragedy has the seeds of something that could change our communities, and hopefully we'll embrace that. And that's my being willing to answer some comments about the fact that I don't normally talk about current events. So at the time of this recording, I am speaking on this current event, and a rash of them actually, because some are even in my own community, and I hope that it spurs some social change. In the meantime, thank you for sharing my armchair. If you like it, subscribe. If you don't, hey, that's what search engines are for. You'll find what you need. But in the meantime, hope you have a wonderful day wherever and whenever you are.